You ever feel like you're trying to improve your life, but nothing actually changes? This is Maya. Maya doesn't feel stuck. Not really. Most days, it feels like she's working on herself, trying to get more organized. She has sticky notes on her mirror. Wake up earlier, drink more water, be consistent. And sometimes, it actually feels like it's working, like something is finally clicking. One morning, she wakes up earlier than usual. Her room is quiet, sunlight barely coming through the window. She starts cleaning. Not perfectly, but enough. Clears her desk, throws away old papers, opens her laptop and starts planning out her week. She color codes everything: blue for work, green for self-improvement, pink for the version of her she's trying to become. And for the first time in a while, she feels in control, like she's finally catching up to her life. Later that night, she's back in bed, lights off, phone in her hand, scrolling. Her screen time notification pops up. 6 hours today. She swipes it away. She sees a video. How to stay consistent every single day. She taps it. Then another one. The system that changed my life in 30 days. Now she's sitting up. Brightness turned down, fully locked in. The person in the video makes it sound simple, clear, structured. Like everything she's been missing has a name now. A system. She opens a new tab, searches for it. There's a planner, another tab, a digital template, another tab, a different version that works better. She scrolls through reviews. One of them says, "This changed my life in 2 weeks." So she watches one more video, then another. And by the time she clicks buy, it doesn't feel like she spent money. It feels like she figured something out. Like this version of her is about to be different. A few days later, a package shows up. She brings it into her room, closes the door, opens it slowly. Everything inside is clean, organized, new. She sets it up on her desk, writes her name on the first page. Slowly, like she's signing into a new version of herself, adjusts it, moves things around until it looks right. For a second, her life looks like the videos she watched. Put together, in control, on track, and that feeling is strong. Stronger than she expected. Because it doesn't just feel like she bought something, it feels like she became someone. But then a few days pass, she wakes up late one morning. The alarm says 6 a.m., it's 9:47, and feeling discouraged, she tells herself she'll just start tomorrow. The planner is still there, on her desk, open to the first page, clean, untouched. A week later, it blends into everything else, just another object in the room, and she doesn't remember the last time she used it. But she does remember how it felt when she bought it, that moment where everything made sense, that moment where it felt like her life was about to change. So a few nights later, she's back in bed again. Same phone, same brightness, same feeling, different video. How to fix your routine. And it feels different this time, like this might actually be the one. Even though it's the exact same moment, and that's where the pattern starts. Because from Maya's perspective, she is trying. She's not doing nothing. She's cleaning, planning, resetting, looking for better ways to do things. Every step feels like progress. Nothing feels wrong in the moment. But if you zoom out, it starts to look different. It's not progress, it's preparation. And the brain doesn't separate those two very well, because every time she finds something new, her brain gives her a reward. Not later, not after results, immediately, when she discovers it, when she buys it, when she sets it up. She gets the feeling first, and the work comes after. But once she feels that reward, something subtle happens. The urgency drops, not completely, just enough. Enough that she doesn't fully follow through, enough that it never becomes a real habit. And over time, that turns into a loop. She feels stuck. She looks for a solution. She finds something that feels like progress. She feels better. Nothing actually changes. And then she feels stuck again. And because every step feels reasonable, she doesn't question it. There's no obvious mistake, no big failure, just a series of small, almost changes. And from the outside, it looks like she's trying harder than most people. But effort and direction are not the same thing. You can put a lot of energy into setting things up without ever staying long enough to see them work. And that's where people quietly get stuck. Not because they're lazy, but because they're being rewarded too early, before anything real has time to form. And once that happens, the feeling of progress starts replacing actual progress. So you stay in motion, but you don't move forward. And the more you rely on that feeling, the more normal it becomes. Until one day you look around and realize you've been starting over for a long time, not because nothing changed at all, but because nothing ever lasted. And there's another layer to this, because every time Maya resets, she tells herself a story, quietly, without noticing. That last version of me didn't work. So she adjusts, tweaks, searches for something better, a new system, a better method, a cleaner approach. But what she's actually doing is avoiding the part that feels uncomfortable. The middle, the part where nothing feels exciting, where the motivation is gone, where the results haven't shown up yet. That's where real change happens. But it doesn't feel like progress. It feels slow, repetitive, sometimes even pointless. So instead of staying there, she goes back to the beginning, where everything feels promising again, where everything feels clear again, where everything feels like it's about to work. And that's the trap. Not failure, not lack of discipline, a cycle of restarting before anything has time to stick. And over time, this starts shaping how she sees herself. She starts to believe she just hasn't found the right system yet, that she's still figuring things out. But the truth is quieter than that. She's not lacking tools, she's lacking continuity, the ability to stay after the feeling fades, because that's where the real shift happens, not in the setup, not in the excitement, but in the ordinary days that follow, the days where nothing feels different, nothing feels rewarding, nothing feels like it's working yet. That's where the decision shows up. Do I continue or do I restart? And that decision doesn't feel big, it feels small. Skipping one day, delaying something, buying something new instead of using what you already have. Each moment feels harmless. But together, they decide direction. Because direction isn't built on one big choice. It's built on 100 small ones that don't feel important at the time. And that's why it's so hard to see. Because from Maya's perspective, she's active, intentional, trying. But effort without continuity creates motion without arrival. And eventually, that starts to feel like being stuck, even when you're constantly doing something. Until one day, something small shifts. Not a big moment, not a breakthrough, just a quiet realization that nothing in her life changes. When she finds the perfect system, it changes. When she stops restarting, when she stays. One more day, even when it feels pointless, even when it feels boring, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because that's the part no one talks about. Real change doesn't feel like progress at first. It feels like repetition. And the version of her she was trying to become was never waiting in something new. It was waiting in the decision to continue. And that's when everything finally shifts. Try. Not all at once, not dramatically, just quietly. Until one day, it's no longer something she's trying to become. It's just who she is.